स्वागत है. My name is Rucha S. Khoth from Flora Language Solutions, your language trainer, blogger and translator. Today's video is going to be about the most common German mistakes that all of the German learners make in the beginning of learning the language. If you have seen my previous videos, you will get an idea about what I post and about what I talk. So I tell you about German, Spanish, English and languages in general, about how they can help you in your career, in life. To watch more of my videos, please to subscribe to my channel. By the end of this video, you will be able to know that what are the most common German mistakes that you, I or anyone might have made while learning German, and the short way to correct them, of course, by practice. So stay tuned to this video, and at the end of the video, if you like it, do not forget to share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel if you have not. Thank you.
The most common German mistakes that we as beginners or as students make. So I am not going to be focusing on the grammar part this time. The main focus is going to be on in which context and in which part of a sentence or a scenario you can use these words, or where you make mistakes, and how you can avoid them. So the first one what we have here is kennen and wissen. So as you all know, both mean to know, but they both have different context. So kennen is used when you want to express that you are familiar with the person or place, and wissen is used when you want to express a fact or knowledge about something. For kennen, you should either answer for a noun or a pronoun. And for wissen, usually, the sentence would be constructed in a subordinate clause form. In German, it is known as the Nebensatz. So when you're using das, wie, wo, where, warum, etc., you can use wissen. Example, kennst du den neuen Nachbarn? Means, do you know the new neighbor? Ja, ich kenne ihn. In pronoun in Akkusativ. Ja, ich kenne ihn. Kennst du Narendra Modi? Ja, ich kenne ihn. Ich kenne Narendra Modi, and so on. Wissen. So wissen would be, weißt du die Adresse? Weißt du die Adresse? Ja, ich weiß die Adresse. Next common mistake that most of the beginners make would be the difference between sehr and viel. So first, it is important to understand the difference between sehr and viel and their definition. Sehr is an adverb and viel is an indefinite pronoun, or it is also used as an adjective. So both the words mean very, but in case of sehr, if you're replacing it with an adjective or putting it before an adjective, then please remember that sehr always comes before the adjectives in a sentence. Example, die Frau war sehr nervös. So the woman was very nervous. So it comes before an adjective. Die Frau war wirklich sehr hilfsbereit. Hilfsbereit means helpful. Die Frau war. War is the past tense of the verb sein. So you see it is coming before an adjective. In some cases, there is also used to tell or narrate the intensity of any action. For example, das schmeckt mir sehr gut, which means, the taste of something is really good for you. Das schmeckt mir sehr gut. Sometimes it can also be used in the context of love. Wie sehr ich dir liebe. Oh, how much I love you, to express this kind of emotional intensity of love. Coming to feel. So feel is used to express some kind of quantity in the German language. Der Mann hat viel getrunken. So getrunken not in the sense of being drunk, but it can be anything, beer, wine, or anything. Der Mann hat viel getrunken, not betrunken. Or you can also say, ich habe zu viel gegessen. I have eaten a lot. Also, since I said it is used in the context of quantity, you can also say, ich habe viel Geld. I have a lot of money. So this is to express quantity. Moving on. Express negation in German, or to negate sentences in German, we use nicht and kein. So the next mistake what we tend to make is nicht and kein. But there is a very slight difference between the two. Once you know the grammatical aspects and practice 2-3 exercises, it's easier to remember. So nicht usually comes before names or pronouns, before adjectives, before adverbs, before pronouns, or before any possessive pronouns, or also before any definite article. So you need to remember before what nicht comes. And kein is usually replaced with ein. So if you're using any indefinite article in the sentence and you want to negate the sentence, instead of ein you can use kein. The function of kein is same as ein. So even the adjective endings you have to put for kein according to what you do for ein. Let's look at some examples. Ich habe nicht gut geschlafen. Ich habe nicht gut geschlafen. I did not sleep well. Das ist nicht ein Mercedes-Auto. Das ist nicht ein Mercedes-Auto. Ich male nicht gern. Ich male nicht gern. I don't really paint so well, or no, I don't really prefer painting. Ich wohne nicht in Stuttgart, or wohnt nicht in Frankfurt, or sie wohnt nicht in Berlin. So as you saw, nicht was mostly used before adverb, adjectives, prepositions and definite articles. Kein is very easy. Ich habe keinen Hunger. Ich habe keine Katze. Yeah? So use just before expressing an indefinite article. So that was all about nicht and kein. Let's move on to nach and zu. Before learning about nach and zu, you all need to remember that both nach and zu are dative prepositions. So anything after nach and zu will always take the dative case. Okay? One more thing which I want to remind all of you for nach is that nach only does not mean to, nach also means after. Okay, but if you want to use it as a preposition for going to some place, then you just need to keep some scenarios in mind and you are done. So when there is a conflict between nach and zu, that time nach means to, hashtag, or sorry, inverted commas to. Otherwise, if it's being used alone, nach also means after. So when we are talking about going to some country, some city, or in some specific direction, that time we will use nach, and after that you will always use dative. Example: Ich fahre nach Deutschland. Ich fahre nach Frankfurt. Ich fahre nach Stuttgart. Or wir fliegen in die Schweiz. Wir fliegen nach Indien. Now here you noticed I said wir fliegen in die Schweiz. So for countries which have an article in German, nach is not applicable. Please remember this. Now if you're using a specific direction and you want to say that you're going towards that direction, you can use Ich fahre nach Osten. Ich fahre nach Süden. Or Ich gehe nach links. Ich gehe nach rechts. Ich gehe oben. Ich gehe nach unten. And so on. Coming to zu also means going to somewhere, but it is used for shorter distances. So within your city, within your town, or within your village, or if you're going to some public place nearby. For example, ich gehe zu der Schule. Ich gehe zu der Post, etc. Difference that we are taking is the difference between Leben and Wohnen. Now this is very easy. Leben literally means to live somewhere in German, and Wohnen means to stay somewhere. So that is the difference. It's all about emotions finally. So let's take an example of a famous city: Frankfurt, Stuttgart, Berlin, Düsseldorf, anyone. Yeah, or even Delhi if I'm talking about India. Ich wohne in Delhi, ich wohne in Frankfurt, or ich wohne in Stuttgart. So fine, I'm living there. But if I want to point out that I love this city so much and some city is making me lively, or it is making my life a tad bit more merry, I will say ich lebe in Berlin, ich lebe in Delhi, ich lebe in Stuttgart, which means you're actually living your life out of that city. You earn there, you make merry there. So that is the difference. Also, the difference would be, even when you're going to someone's place to stay, you don't use wohnen because it does mean stay. You will use bleiben in that case. So if you are going to stay overnight at someone's place, it is always better to use bleiben in such a context. So I hope the difference between Leben, Wohnen and Bleiben is clear to some extent. That was all for today. I tried my best to, go by the trends and check with my students, and also through a survey of what are the most common mistakes that German learners all across the world make, or German beginners. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and share it with your friends. There is going to be a second part of this video where I'm going to discuss more mistakes. Till then, ciao, and have a great life. Bye bye.